Have you ever found yourself trapped in awkward and frustrating communication predicaments? This kind of tangled situation takes place constantly in our daily lives, office work, and all kinds of interpersonal relationships. You sit down to talk to others with pure, sincere intentions, hoping to build a relaxed and harmonious chat atmosphere. Yet before you notice any obvious trigger, the warm, easy vibe suddenly turns stiff, cold, and tense out of nowhere, before you even calm down to figure out exactly what went wrong between you two. A mild, casual conversation slowly escalates into a heated, fierce verbal debate. Eventually, the small conflict spirals into an unpleasant, hurtful quarrel, leaving both sides filled with hidden grievance, misunderstanding, and emotional distance. You take the initiative to reach out and offer well-intentioned, practical suggestions to colleagues, close friends, or family members. Your original wish is simple and kind. You purely want to help them avoid unnecessary detours and solve real-life troubles smoothly. However, your genuine kindness is never truly cherished or appreciated by the other party. Instead of gratitude, you only receive silent resistance, cold attitudes, and hidden inner resentment. As this repeated scene plays out again and again, an invisible, thick emotional estrangement gradually forms between you and every person around you. When you run into tough troubles and pluck up all your courage to turn to others for help and support, you are often politely yet firmly refused, which leaves you trapped in awkwardness and deep confusion. When your heart is emotionally vulnerable and you pour out your truest inner feelings with total sincerity, you find most listeners stay perfunctory, distracted, absent-minded, and completely indifferent to your fragile emotions. After every single failed communication experience, you inevitably fall into endless cycles of self-doubt. You keep blaming yourself for being clumsy with words and lacking basic social communication talent. You secretly admire those people who can make every listener feel comfortable, safe, and valued, and win others' trust and favor effortlessly in every conversation. Eager to change this awkward, stressful state of interpersonal interaction, you spend lots of spare time learning various online social skills and ready-made conversation templates. But these rigid, mechanical communication routines sound stiff, unnatural, and pretentious in real chats. They cannot solve your core communication obstacles at all, and even make conversations more awkward. The hidden core reason behind all your communication troubles is surprisingly simple. True high-level, effective communication never relies on glib speaking skills or superficial fixed routines. It is deeply rooted in one irreplaceable key essence: fully understanding the 6 inherent, universal weaknesses deep inside human nature. These 6 psychological weaknesses exist in every single person without any exception, affecting everyone's emotional reactions and judgment in every interaction. Dale Carnegie's timeless classic work, How to Win Friends and Influence People, systematically reveals the hidden psychological logic that governs all interpersonal interactions. Once you fully understand and skillfully apply these universal human nature rules in daily chats, your overall communication ability will achieve an essential transformative qualitative leap. After mastering these core principles, you can handle complicated workplace cooperation, warm family, daily communication, and all kinds of social interaction effortlessly and calmly. Most ordinary people's repeated communication failures mainly stem from 5 typical cognitive errors. These wrong mindsets unconsciously ruin every conversation before it even goes deep. First error: overriding soft emotions with rigid, stubborn logic. When disagreements and different opinions arise during communication, many people only cling to reasoning, stubbornly, and completely ignore others' real inner feelings. They easily forget a vital truth. Communication is first and foremost emotional interaction between two hearts, not a cold, rational academic debate that only cares about who is right or wrong. Second error, public criticism and arbitrary one-sided judgment. They casually point out others' shortcomings and mistakes in front of crowds, which directly hurts personal dignity and instantly triggers strong self-defense psychology. Third error, hollow, perfunctory praise without specific factual details or genuine sincerity. Empty compliment words sound superficial and distant, failing to bring any real emotional comfort. Fourth error, pseudo-listening with wandering thoughts and scattered, distracted attention. You look like you are listening, but your mind drifts elsewhere and misses the speaker's true mood. Fifth error, self-centered communication that only focuses on venting your own grievances and troubles. You keep talking about your own experience without leaving space for the other person to express themselves. All those mechanical social skills online end up failing completely because they ignore the most basic inner psychological needs of human beings. A crucial truth you need to remember: people are never truly changed by cold, rigid, objective truths, but by having their hidden inner emotional needs fully satisfied and seen. Now I will thoroughly disassemble each of the 6 core human nature weaknesses one by one and match every psychological trait with down-to-earth, operable communication skills you can use immediately. The first core weakness: everyone longs deeply to be seen, valued, and sincerely affirmed. Famous psychologist William James once pointed out a well-verified psychological conclusion: the strongest, most persistent human psychological desire is recognition and sincere appreciation from other people. This innate inner need has absolutely nothing to do with age, gender, social status, or income level. Whether you are a child, a student, an office worker, or an elder, you all crave genuine recognition. A real touching life story perfectly verifies this core point of human psychology. A 17-year-old teenage boy was always labeled rebellious, naughty, and worthless by his family and teachers since childhood. No one around him ever noticed his hidden love and rare natural talent for motorcycle modification. He poured all his spare time into learning complicated mechanical principles, yet never received a single word of recognition. One day, his self-modified motorcycle suddenly broke down on the road, so he turned to a local old repair shop owner for help and maintenance. Unlike the cold indifference he got from everyone else, this shop owner carefully observed his delicate, thoughtful modification details on the vehicle. He remembered the boy's name clearly and sincerely praised his patient, careful craftsmanship without any perfunctoriness. For the very first time in his whole life, this teenage boy truly felt he was seen, understood, and deeply valued by another person. Driven by this warm, precious sense of recognition, a father's profound long-term self-reflection fully proves the huge hidden harm of public criticism. In the past years, he would publicly criticize his child's trivial small mistakes everywhere without hesitation. He reprimanded the child for messy clothes, casual manners, and minor errors in front of relatives, friends, and strangers. Long-term repeated public denial slowly made the child become timid, extremely inferior, and closed-minded. An insurmountable thick emotional barrier gradually formed between father and child. Hard to break through. We need to understand that targeted criticism itself is helpful for personal growth and progress, but public negation directly destroys a person's basic sense of dignity and self-respect. The correct communication principle here is clear. Correct others' mistakes in fully private space. Affirm their advantages first, then gently put forward targeted improvement suggestions. This method eliminates other instant defensive mentality completely and makes them willing to listen to your opinions and accept adjustments sincerely. The third core weakness: human nature constantly craves continuous, gentle, positive emotional feedback. No ordinary person can bear long-term endless criticism, deliberate fault-finding, and repeated cold water from others. The well-known looking glass self-theory clearly states that individual self-cognition mainly comes from external feedback from surrounding people. Long-term stable positive affirmation helps people build solid self-confidence and positive self-value perception. In contrast, long-term negative evaluation easily leads to deep self-doubt and even extreme self-abandonment. Dale Carnegie once met a burnt-out postal clerk who was trapped in tedious, repetitive daily work every single day. While all other customers ignored his hard work and mechanical daily labor, Carnegie sincerely praised his neat, rigorous work attitude. This simple, warm, positive feedback instantly lifted his long-term, suppressed, depressed mood. He regained steady work confidence and a strong sense of self-worth that lasted for a very long time. Most people around us are extremely stingy with giving sincere praise, yet keen on picking out others' tiny mistakes. They easily ignore family members' silent daily dedication, colleagues' persistent efforts, and friends' consistent companionship. Continuous long-term negative feedback will make others gradually close their inner hearts and choose to stay away from you. By contrast, continuous detailed positive feedback is the lowest cost, most effective way to maintain long-term good relationships. The fourth core weakness. Everyone longs for real empathy and instinctively resists one-way preaching when conflicts and inconsistent opinions take place in communication. Most people only focus on explaining their own grievances and reasoning stubbornly. This typical self-centered communication approach makes others build solid, unbreakable psychological defense walls at once. They will directly shut down the communication channel and refuse to listen to any of your subsequent opinions. Efficient conflict resolution always follows one fixed core rule. Put empathy first, carry out reasoning later. Let us compare two completely different workplace communication methods to see the obvious gap. The rigid, ineffective one-way way. Your whole plan is full of obvious loopholes and flaws. Rewrite it immediately. This direct, one-sided accusation arouses strong inner resistance and negative, passive work attitude instantly. The warm, empathetic, effective way. I totally understand you have heavy daily tasks and extremely tight time limits recently. Small, careless omissions under such pressure are completely normal. Let's sit down and optimize these details together. This communication method affirms the other party's hard work first, eliminates inner resistance, and guides them to take the initiative to cooperate and adjust work content positively. This empathy logic also perfectly applies to parent-child daily communication and intimate couple relationships. Sincere empathy can resolve most communication contradictions and emotional confrontations in daily life. The fifth core weakness. Everyone desires true, wholehearted, dedicated listening. Most people widely misunderstand the definition of effective listening as simply keeping silent without speaking. In fact, wandering thoughts, distracted eyes, and perfunctory silence never count as real effective listening. Deep inside human nature, every individual craves being truly understood and wholeheartedly received by the speaker. Frequent random interruptions and arbitrary sudden topic transfers make others feel deeply disrespected and neglected. This kind of pseudo-listening slowly consumes others' accumulated goodwill and trust bit by bit over time. Once trust fades, smooth communication can no longer be rebuilt easily. True dedicated listening means fully focusing on others' spoken words and capturing the hidden emotions behind their language. It means temporarily putting aside your own instant judgment and the urge to rush out your response. Only sustained, wholehearted listening can build deep, solid trust and close emotional connection between two people. The sixth core weakness of human nature. Everyone instinctively resents being controlled and preached To no one likes being ordered around, arbitrarily judged, or forced to fully accept others' subjective views. Many people repeatedly fail in communication for one key reason. They are too eager to correct others' viewpoints. They rush to point out every mistake and preach rigid truths the moment others share their troubles and confusion. This pushy attitude makes us feel mentally suppressed and restrained, and they will quickly lose the willingness to communicate and open up their hearts further. High-level mature communication never takes the initiative to preach from a superior standpoint, but guides others to think and adjust subtly through gentle guidance. Put aside your sense of superiority and the strong desire to transform other people's thoughts completely. Respect the natural differences between every individual and tolerate their unavoidable personal imperfections. Only when you stop blind preaching and forced transformation can others truly open their hearts and talk honestly with you. Final summary: all smooth, efficient communication fully conforms to the 6 core rules of human nature. Sincerely affirm others' unique value. Strictly protect others' inner self-esteem at all times. Offer continuous, detailed, positive feedback in daily interaction, and stick to empathetic thinking first whenever conflicts appear. Listen to others with full dedication and sincere patience, and refuse arbitrary preaching, forced control, and one-sided judgment. Abandon those stiff, mechanical social routines and cold, rational preaching that ignore human emotions. Grasp these 6 universal human nature rules firmly in every conversation, and your daily interpersonal communication will naturally become smooth, relaxed, and highly efficient effortlessly.